Hey horror fans, welcome back to Room 237, and this is actually a reaction video to something that really surprised me about 2 or 3 days ago. Last week it was announced that Showtime will be bringing back Dexter for a 10-episode limited series. Now, I am a huge fan of Dexter. As far as serialized shows go, like Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Dexter is my favorite. Favorite serialized show. Have all 8 seasons. I do want to get more of the books. I only have the first 2 books. I actually want to get ones with the original covers. I do have, it's on my coffee table actually, the Blood Slide coaster set, which I love that dearly. I'm glad I have that. I'm a huge fan of Dexter. In fact, actually, give me 1 second. Wasn't until I watched Dexter that did I actually... I have more, but I actually went out and bought forensic textbooks, especially bloodstain pattern analysis. Because after I watched Dexter, my life was kind of going nowhere, and I was thinking seriously about going to school for forensics. I didn't go to college. It was something I was seriously thinking about, and I have read this textbook. It's also just very interesting. Now, a Dexter revival comes around every couple of years. For a while, there was talks that there was going to be a Deb spinoff. There was going to be a Harrison spinoff. There was going to be Dexter coming back, but set either prior to season 1 or in between, somewhere between the first 4 seasons, which the first 4 seasons I think are the best of the show, with season 4 being my absolute favorite, the one with Trinity. This is one of the greatest seasons, I think, to ever be on television. 2 is my second favorite, the whole Bay Harbor Butcher. I love season 2. I've seen the whole series probably 4 or 5 or 6 times. Seasons 2 and 4, I've probably seen 7 or 8 times. It's just a show I can just put on and I can just get sucked right back into it. And then I think the latest one was probably 2 years ago. There was a poster that said Dexter Season 9, had a picture of the slice of life. And there was like a diagonal cut with a drop of blood. And it was going to continue. It said, it sort of showed half a face like this, and the other half was Hannah's face. Of course, that didn't happen. So now, when I first found this out, there really wasn't much information. But first, I will say, Season 8, as a whole, was very disappointing. The writing was all over the place. The finale, I wasn't a fan of. Most people weren't. In recent years, though, when I think of the final scene of Dexter, which this is all going to be spoilers. So if you're watching Dexter and you haven't finished it yet, stop right now. Or if you want to start it, stop watching right now. The more I think about the final scene of Dexter, the more I accept it. I still dislike the whole 8th season, but the finale has kind of grown on me a bit. And when I heard about a revival taking place almost in real time, like 8 to 10 years after, because there was an update probably about 18 hours ago. I just checked. It's okay, he's not a serial killer anymore. This is what the whole finale set, and the producer Phillips. I keep wanting to say Todd Phillips, but that's not right. I want to get the guy's name. I can't. I have this. One of the producers is saying that, this 10 episode limited series is not going to be Dexter season 9. But he also says it's not going to be, it's not saying that it never happened. Everything that happened in the first 8 seasons did happen. We're not getting Rita back. We're not getting Deb back. It's not undoing anything. So, what I got out of that was, in the last episode, it made it pretty clear Dexter's not a serial killer anymore. He has human emotions. He feels like a normal human, like he always wanted to, but he lives in self-imposed exile. He feels sadness, loneliness. He feels all the bad emotions. Everything he's done, and having to, technically kill his own sister, leave his son with another serial killer, lost his first wife to a serial killer he kept hanging out with because he wanted to learn from him. All this exile and loneliness, that's all he feels now. And I think Michael C. Hall has talked about that before. They're looking at this as, they're able to start from scratch. So we could get Dexter in Oregon as a lumberjack for 10 episodes, or at least start out there in real time. Which I wouldn't be opposed to. I mean, why is that guy's name not fucking Clyde Phillips Productions? Okay, that's what I was looking for. There's really nothing on. Production is set to begin winter 2020 with a fall 2021 premiere date. All right. So, and I don't have Showtime, so I'm really gonna have to lay off the internet for a while, unless it's on Hulu or something as it's airing. But I read, I am open to it. I am glad that they're not undoing anything from the original series, because I find that to be a cop-out or a cheat. He did say it would insult the audience to say, oh, hey, everything in this was a dream, or the lumberjack was a dream. Yes, the ending still does kind of suck. But when I think of where Dexter has put himself, it's grown on me. I kind of accept it. I kind of look at the whole season as a failure, and I accept the last scene more so than anything in this. Or from the death of Deb and up, I sort of accept, or have grown to accept. Now, I once read that there was an original ending that someone pitched or someone wanted. If they went this route, it would be the perfect ending. I know people don't want to see their favorite characters go down this road. And I think a lot of people are just excited for this because they love the show. I mean, it's like how some people, when they really like a movie, they want a sequel or a prequel. They don't think about how it could work or how much sense it could make or why it even needs to exist. I know a ton of people who just, they get done watching a movie or a show that they really like and then not even digest it. It's just like, that was great. I want to see another one. Or they better do another one. It's like, why? It ended, especially prequels. It's like, why do we? No. And when I first heard about the revival, because I had people tagging me in this, because they know I love the show. My first thought was, do we need one? Would that be a good idea? And I kept thinking about it, and I was like, well, because there is kind of a teaser. There is a thing that, it has the sort of opening where, it's got like the bloody Dexter letters, and it says like, being away has been murder. And yeah, it's kind of a clever tagline or whatever, but, I'm really under the impression that Dexter's not a serial killer anymore. And I just felt like whatever they did was going to undo everything in this, and I didn't want that to happen. As bad as this season is, I feel like undoing something is just very much a cheat. And I'm glad that Clyde Phillips has said that would insult the audience to just say, hey, just kidding. But now that they're looking at it as a second chance, and that they're saying, no, everything from the show still happened. We're sort of picking up in real time, whether Dexter is still in hiding, whether he's been found out, because he still had his apartment when he, rode off into the hurricane. Maybe it came out that he's the Bay Harbor Butcher, or he's at least a killer. And one thing I was saying before I went on that tangent of how people just want continuations because they like something without actually thinking about how it can make sense or if it's needed, was I once read there was going to be an original ending where Dexter gets captured. He gets found out. And we jump some time, and he's on the execution table. And I might get a little bit of this wrong, but the way I read it was, as he's dying on the lethal injection table, he's on a table, so that's already symbolic, but he looks over at the witness area, and he sees, Brian, Rita, Dokes, LaGuardia, Trinity, Travis Marshall, Lila, all the major people that either he killed or died because of him are present, watching him die on a table. And I was like, that is so symbolic and a worthy ending. I mean, yeah, in season 4, when he's talking to Trinity before he kills him, he does mention faking his own death and living in exile, and that is what happened. But there's been several times where when he's talking to Harry, who's like his Jiminy Cricket the whole series, he does talk about, your execution, your capture. It's almost inevitable if you keep going down this road. And, it does toe the line of, even on in the first season, he says, am I a bad person doing good things or a good person doing bad things? This show has towed that line very well. And I would have been very accepting to that ending. I know people are like, well, I love Dexter. I love, they can't kill him because then I can get other things that are needless. It won't make sense just because I want more. But I'm very accepting to this revival. And even both Michael C. Hall and, which, thank God they're getting him. Thank God it's not a prequel with another actor. I mean, I don't even think anyone is that stupid to do that. Get someone other than Michael C. Hall to play him. But I am thankful it's not undoing anything in this series. As bad as the season is, over time, I have come to accept the final scene as Dexter's fate. It makes more sense to me the more I think about it. I wouldn't mind seeing, that kind of ending where he gets captured. Maybe he really has to really fight the system and go outside of his code to keep the number one, to stay true to the number one rule, which is don't get caught. Or maybe he has to kill and feel remorse, which, because now he feels remorse now that he has emotions. You know, it can go in any direction, but I have faith that it will work. They know they fucked up in the last season. At first, I was like, do we really need it? Because this is going to sound pretentious. I like to think that I think more logically when it comes to sequels, prequels, reboots, whatever. It's like, well, is it really needed? I feel like they're just going to undo everything. But after reading that interview with Clyde Phillips about how, no, these are all still canon. We're picking up in real time. We're starting from scratch with that ending. It's just a second chance at a true finale. And I was like, okay, now I'm totally excited. I am on board 100%. And I can't wait to see it. I really can't. Yes, the show did kind of start to tank with season 5. 6, I actually found kind of enjoyable at times. 7, not terrible. 8 got pretty bad. But again, I do accept the whole ending of exile, loneliness, feeling emotions, but all the negative ones. These are still the best 2 seasons, I think. I think this is still the greatest thing ever put on TV. I mean, John Lithgow is fucking creepy in it. Maybe I'll do actual season reviews of Dexter. I've seen them enough times where I probably won't have to rewatch them. But yeah, I'm really on board with this revival. I'm glad they're leaving the original series alone. They're not gonna say it's a dream or it's something else. No, they're not making this bullshit. Or no, they're not making this bullshit. Like, they're not calling it bullshit. They're continuing from it. But he also said it's not Dexter season 9. So alright. But I am glad that they're not fucking with the original series. They're actually going to try to do a real finale with what they have. And I think that they know what the fans want to see. And even if it means Dexter getting captured and killed, which, if you follow the books, or captured and executed or killed, yes, Dexter is one of my favorite characters of all time in any medium. I love the character of Dexter. And one of my favorite performances ever. I think Michael C. Hall really is this character. By that I mean he plays him so well. But yeah, I'm very on board. Even if the whole thing takes place in Oregon, I don't care. Now that I know they're not undoing anything, they're not going to be backtracking to retcon anything. Because retconning is becoming a huge thing now with a lot of the reboots and lots of bullshit. They're not going to retcon. They're not going to change. Which sounds smart to me. It sounds logical to me. And while at first I was like, well, do we need it? Anything they do will fuck up what's already happened. Now I have faith. And I'm very excited. I love this fucking show. I mean, I almost chose a whole career path based on this show. Actually, almost every electronic I have in my background is a blood spatter thing. So, yeah, I love Dexter. I cannot wait till fall of next year. I hope it's on Hulu as it airs, so I can watch it with everyone, not have to friggin' put blinders on and avoid the internet. But yeah, Dexter, favorite serialized show. It sounds like they're on the right path. I am very much looking forward to it. Even if it's a finale that makes it no more Dexter, like he is dead. There's no way he can ever come back. I will be okay with that. I prefer conclusions because then I don't have to worry about some bullshit fucking with it later. So, you know, I have faith they're going to do the right thing. This was a 20-minute reaction, so holy Christ. Yes. I guess let me know what you think about Dexter. If you actually, also tell me if you actually thought, like when you found out there's a revival, if you took a step back and was like, well, no, let's think about this. Or if you're one of those people that's just like, more, awesome, cool, yeah, I'm not even going to think about it. Yeah, but anyway, Dexter, can't wait. I guess I'll see you in the fall. Thank you for watching.